Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently read Clockwork Dynasty, which is written by Daniel H. Wilson. He's also the author of Robopocalypse. Now, I had heard of Robopocalypse and I had seen Daniel's name before. I had encountered it at Half Price Books long ago. And sure enough, I found it in my local library and I thought, you know what, I've always wanted to read this book because I'm very intrigued with steampunk and the whole idea of AI being sentient, and this is very stupendous. It's superb in every shape or fashion and concept of the imagination. It's about this young woman who's an anthropologist, and she finds this animatronic doll. It's much more than an animatronic doll. It's an automat or an automaton. And she finds that this automat, or AI, has quite a bit of history on her. And Elena, she has a brother. What's interesting about that is we go from present-day Oregon to China to London to, well, actually Russia, London, India, China, just different locales in the Ukraine, just that whole Siberian area. And it's got a lot about Peter and Catherine, my favorites. Peter Ilyich. Peter the Great, I should say. I've always been fascinated by the czars. I don't know why. I find them very fascinating and intriguing and mesmerizing. I've always been drawn by Anastasia. But it's just that Griff. Sorry, my dog is eating styrofoam and I want him to stop. Sorry for that. I was interrupted but briefly. Anywho, it's a woefully short book, and it ends in such a way that you think, is there more? It's always got that little bit of anticipation at the end, even though the ending is very happy in and of itself. It's still got that little bit of unease about it, and the whole thing just gives me a sense of discomfort and kind of, well, what if this really happens? What if indeed there have been such accounts, like with Daedalus? It's actually a myth, and I had heard of this before, but Daedalus created this creature, this kind of statue that moved, or a puppet that had clockwork gears, and it took upon a life of its own. I thought, good Lord. You know, the stories like that make you want to run and hide and never come out of your room, but it reminds me of the Discovery series, and just how interesting and disconcerting it was in many aspects concerning the implications of technology and AI. And I'm a futurist. However, I don't consider technology a crutch or a reliable device. It's made by human beings, and we're flawed and fallible, and we have our foibles. And this actually uncovers a lot of that, and the history in this is absolutely terrific. Mr. Wilson really did his work, and it shows. And if you're like me, if you're a history buff, you'll just absolutely love it. It feels like a real kind of adventure and globetrotter of a romp. And not only that, but you've got the steampunk in there, and it makes it that much better. It's really a spectacular read, and I was glad to get it done, but I felt really sad once I finished. I thought, I want to read more, and I really like Daniel Wilson. I'm hoping I can run across more of his work, but he has written Robopocalypse, of course, Robogenesis, Amped, A Boy and His Bot, How to survive a robot uprising. That's funny. Where's my jetpack? How to build a robot army. The Mad Scientist Hall of Fame. And Bro Jitsu. Oops, I accidentally turned the page. Bro Jitsu, the martial art of sibling smackdown. I like this guy. This man has a very kind of sharp and rapier wit, as I would say, and he's got a lot of cultural influences here that you can tell that he's really done his research concerning the different countries in which these stories take place, and it all interconnects, and you think, oh, this goes back really far, and then it extends into the present day once again. There is an amulet involved. I'm not going to say what that's all about, but that is the it's very integral, actually, and it adds a little air of enigma to the tale, if there wasn't enough already with Elena and her brother. And you find out what they are. Of course, I said that I gave that away. That was a little bit of a spoiler, sorry. And then you learn about where Peter is and whom he served, I should say, and actually how old he really is. You think, oh my gosh, that's just, it's insane to think of it that way, just not aging, and you'd have to plug yourself in before your anima. They call it the anima. I thought that was very marvelous that they use the Latin term for soul, and I thought, yeah, that makes sense. They use a lot of Latin and a lot of Russian, Ukrainian statements like pravda, and I don't know if that's Latin or Russian. And there's so much that's really quite just exemplary in this novel. And I hated to get through it so quickly, but I just could not put it down. It's just like any other steampunk I've read. This is the best one that I've encountered thus far, other than Sanderson. Sanderson did it really well in The Arithmetist, and I'm hoping that he writes a sequel to The Arithmetist. And yeah, I know that we're all waiting for it, but come on, write it, please. We want to know what happens. I like it because it's the closest thing to Full Metal Alchemist that we're going to get over here in the States. And just, it makes sense, just the whole summoning circle and all that. I don't know why I'm so drawn to that. But it's probably something I should not be interested in. Because I know that once you get involved with that kind of magic, there are prices to pay. It's just like what Rumpelstiltskin said in OUAT when I used to be a fan of it. I'm going to get back into it, so maybe I'll still be a fan of it. But magic comes with a price, theory. And I could totally play Rumpel, but anyway. I am, yeah, but will you stop licking the cat's anus? For gosh sakes. I'm sorry, people. He does that all the time. He'll go over, hey, stop it. He'll go over there and he'll check out the cat's litter box with once the cat has made a deposit. And I'm like, I'm not the barfy type, but that actually makes me want to hurl. That's pretty much all I got to say about Clockwork Dynasty. But gotta be working on some parodies coming up, so they're gonna probably not be recorded, and they're probably not going to be uploaded until next year because I've already done all my Christmas stuff. I got one more Christmas parody. I can't find it, but it's basically a parody of Bodak Yellow by Cardi B. I didn't think that it was going to come out to be a Christmas song. I thought, are you kidding me? How in the heck did my brain come up with that? I mean, yeah, this is the way my mind, it goes in all sorts of different directions all at once, and then it'll come to this collusion and explosion of pure muse, and then all of a sudden I think, ooh, yes. And this is this most unusual, spontaneous combination that anybody could ever think of. And I don't know how my brain does it, but I'm thankful that it does. But that's pretty much all I got to say for now. So until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao, tutti.